Okay, I've had quite a few requests about this baby here. It's called the Pmax machine. I do a lot of work on this. I make petrol tanks, oil tanks, mud guards, and it's all in whatever dies you make. Today we're going to be doing some louver dies. A louver is punched into the metal with this die, and we can punches it like so, and then we run the metal along to the length of the louver we require. This finishes one tip, then we can run it back and this will finish the other tip. This gives it a really nice rounded effect. You can see the shape of the louver there, and we can adjust the depth by how far we go. So we're going to be doing an early Jaguar hood. First of all, I'm going to strip the paint off it, because there's nothing worse than trying to paint something that's been louvered and it's still got paint on it. It's better off in bare metal, and that way you can usually just high fill it, rub it and paint it. It's a lot easier to do than trying to strip paint off after it's been louvered. You get a lot cleaner louver too. So this is the side of the hood off the Jaguar. That's the inside. The inside's got a heavy coat of black on it. We're going to get rid of that. My cameraman has already stripped this side, so it's back to bare metal. So when the louvers are punched, it'll need very little clean up, and we can high fill it straight away. So we're just going to sand this side off in the area that's going to be louvered and take it back to almost bare metal. So we want the louvers to go on this angle here. To do that, we're going to put a guide up here. This is adjustable. If you come around here and look here, we've marked some increments on here at 1 1/4 inches. That's as this slides backwards. We'll use that to set the distance of the louvers apart. So each louver is the same distance apart. We don't have to draw on this or work out anything. It does it all on the machine, so it makes it really easy to space things apart. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a guide on here that will run onto this guide here, and as we do each louver, we'll slide it backwards, slide it back 1 1/4 inches. I'm also going to put a guide along here, so the louver will stop at exactly the same spot every time. Because we're going from long to short, it'll really help us with our spacing. Right on here, this is a piece of inch box section, and the louvers die is going to go up and hit that each time it moves along. So I'm just going to secure that with a couple of screws through existing holes. So we'll just use some self drilling screws. Now the only way I'm going to get a guide on this edge is to tack a piece of inch on there, because this is such a strange angle. We would just want to keep this one here, but it's got to go down further because we're going to be running the louvers. The louver die needs something to run on, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put another guide along here on this edge, just tacking it on with the MIG. So I'm just going to tack this edge on here, so we've got something for the side to run. I'm going to keep it in line with this. So I've put the hood in place, and I've set this at the first setting for the first louver. And I guess we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 louvers. That'll be a little project and a half, but I'm sure we'll get through it. Okay, we've got it set up now. I've got the guide running backwards and forwards. My assistant here is a block of wood, and my cameraman's watching me. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it through once lightly to do the actual cut in the metal. Then we do a second run to form it. And when I get to both ends, this forms a final rounded shoulder. So we're going to start now. We're going to do the first, we're just going to do a cut now. Okay, so we've cut our first louver. Now we're going to move it along another 1.25 inches to the mark. Lock it in. And we'll take this out and move it along to exactly where it was before. We've moved this back 1.25 inches on the settings we've got on the machine. So that's going to cut our next louver 1.25 inches from this one.
Yep.
So what I've done here, I've laid some tape out to follow the body lines of the hood. So we're going to get the louvers, so we can get the louvers to finish in a uniform fashion. Then when we come through to the top, I've got a 1 inch stop there, so that pushes them about 1.5 inches from the top line. So I don't really have to look to stop the machine that way. And as long as I start at the same position every time on that tape, we get a uniform look. So I've had to take the paint off this side as well because the paint was so thick and brittle it was clogging the louver die. So I've cleaned it off as much as I have to now, and this is obviously going to have to be blasted or paint stripped after I've finished. So we'll just keep going now. I'm going to just start the louver. I do one pass with the die down, a halfway pass, and then I bring it back and do a full pass. The full pass is what does the final forming. The first pass cuts it, the second pass forms it. So okay, here we go. We'll just it takes a bit of lining up to get the front one, but once we've got the front one, everything else is easy. And that's all there is to it. Punching holes in cars. Looks great. there we have this is my 51 Mercury. Just about finished installing Jag front end. A lot of work. Now we're talking about louvers. These louvers were done at Gene Winfield's shop in America. I bought a hood over there and we louvered it. His louver die just stamps a one size louver, but he's had a little peak in it, which makes him unique. And although this is a satin paint job, you can see how that peak picks up, especially on a glossy paint job. We also louvered the stone tray. Brand new panel, punched some holes in a brand new piece of steel. We even stamped some in the glove box lid while we're there for good measure. Okay, so these louvers are very long. I don't know if Henry Ford had punched them all at once or they had a press, but I think people with fiberglass cars, the fiberglass hot rods, the biggest giveaway when I look at them is the smooth bonnet sides. These sides can be replicated now, but it's sometimes a dead giveaway if they haven't got the long louvers. So the Pmax just takes different dies, top and bottom. So here's just a little sample I've used over the years. This one here is used for making Harley front fenders. It forms a metal both ways, so this way and that way. This die is curved. You've got pieces you can just use as a planishing hammer. A couple of sizes. This is a beading tool for doing beads. Instead of using a bead roller, you can use this, and it's very controllable. I've got a few different ones I've made over the years. This was a die I made for folding metal, so you do curved folds. I think I've made half these. This is another one for doing curved metal. This is what I use to fold. It's another wider die. They're only made of mild steel. They're not heavy production.